We have a guest in the studio with us. He's from the Firehouse Animal Health Center, Dr. John Faught. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
He is our veterinarian. He's took care of my old dog, Bumper, and my new dog, Shiny, who is a miniature Australian Shepherd. And we like to have him in every once in a while and just talk about pet. Boy, this is a pet town.
It is.
This is a dog and pet town.
You picked a good city to set up shop.
That's right. People love their pets here.
And they'll take them in when they're already broken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes when they're not. So.
Adopting sick pets. We did.
You got a mangy little thing when you got him.
He's good now, though, man. He's solid.
He is. He's a good dude. Did you see the story last week, Dr. Faught? The woman that spent like $500 to save her goldfish?
No.
Surgery.
Everybody's got a friend that they want to take with them.
It's a goldfish.
It is what it is,
$500. You could buy an airplane ticket somewhere. $500 for a goldfish.
I know you're going to be really nice and polite, but have you ever had one come in to Firehouse?
No,
where you're like, this is really not something we can. It's not worth it. You probably at a certain point have to say, well, you probably don't word it that way.
Well, yeah, I know it's not so much about worth as quality of life. I mean, what I always tell people is the value piece is different for everybody. I tell my sister would spend $1,000 on a purse that I would never do that, but I'd spend $1,000 on a pair of boots that she would never do. So
that's true.
I mean, everybody has their place, and I feel like our job is really not about saying what's worth and what's not, but more about giving you the options, telling you what we can do, and you got to tell us what's worth it to you and what's not.
And that's often a very difficult decision. It's quality of life.
Sure.
For the animal.
Sure.
I'm curious, Dr. Faught, by the way, Firehouse Animal Health Center, 765-9009. What percentage, let's go with dogs and cats, which is, I guess, the most popular, what you treat. Mm-hmm. When they come in, what percentage would you say of those dogs are overweight, cats that are overweight?
No, I think there's actually national statistics on that, and I think it totally mirrors human population. I mean,
is that right?
Mm-hmm, it's really interesting. And what's funny now is that the pets that are overweight that we all look at and they walk in, I mean, the owners don't think they're overweight. They think people are like used to the fat and happy lab these days. But, you see those like true sporting hunting labs. They're not big and fat.
No,
that's
they're not.
What people are used to anymore.
I duck hunted with one over the break, and I was amazed what that dog could do at 10 months old.
You know what I think it is, though, because I see some of the pet magazines, they're photoshopping those pets and making them look thinner. And it's giving our pets a body conscious issue, right?
Sure. Do we overtreat our dogs? Overtreat, like, eat treats.
If food is love, and so I think that the really interesting thing about this discussion is that Purina did a study a few years back, and all they did is they took 2 sets of dogs. They kept one in a really lean body condition and overfed the other like 10% more than the others over the lifetime of these dogs. So it took 17 years to do this study. On average, the statistics were the dogs in the lean group lived 2 years longer and had far less disease. So, I mean, it's not rocket science. We all know this, right? If you keep
common sense,
stay in good shape and everything else, you're not going to have diabetes, you're not going to have arthritis, you're not going to have all these problems. The problem is we connect love and bonding with the pet with food, and therefore we continue to do it.
Table scraps.
Right.
Oh, I know. I don't give my dog any food off the table.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, right?
Well, you really shouldn't. I mean, I think that, a little bit of chicken here or there is probably not a big deal, but I think the reality is the way that we cook food and put all these spices and salt and sugar and everything else and grease, I mean, all of that stuff's not good. We used to have a thing, I don't know if you remember, we used to have a thing on the counter that said 1 ounce of cheese for a 40-pound dog, which is like a little bite of cheese, is the equivalent of like 3 Hershey bars for an average-sized person.
Really?
And so, we say, that's just a little bite of cheese. But the reality is, if you told your kid it's just 3 Hershey bars every day, what's the big deal,
Gosh.
No, you would never feed your dog that.
Hey, this is good timing for you to be up here because it's going to be a really cold week. And, I know all dogs are different, and people have cats that are inside out or outside. But a lot of dogs, their tolerance for cold is very different than what we feel. Mm-hmm. I mean, where do you draw the line where you should get your pets inside?
Yeah, I think it's different. I think it's an acclimation thing too. I mean, I think that the dogs that live in Colorado all year long are probably more acclimated to that kind of weather, and they tend to do better than if you are here all winter long and you go up there for the weekend. But the reality is, I try to use common sense with it. I mean, if it's freezing outside, then we try not to just like leave them out there for long periods of time. Can they go out for an hour or so? Yeah, I mean, I do. You know, it's just a matter of being. You don't want to leave them out all night long if it's 10 below and it's going to be frostbite and their water bowl is going to be frozen over. That's probably a little cold unless they have some shelter or something. So.
Right.
Again, kind of a common sense thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is if I can go outside for a few hours in a coat, then the dogs can probably go outside for a few hours in a coat. But it's, if they're scratching the door and if they're going nuts and they look like they're freezing, then bring them in.
I read an interesting article. Someone had lost their dog, and some hunters found the dog.
Okay.
And the hunter gave the person some advice about the dog, and I was wondering how true it was. They said if your dog goes missing, find a piece of clothing that you have worn for quite a while and put it outside. Put a bowl of water out, because a lot of times dogs will kind of stay in the same area. Is this true? Have you ever heard of this? It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think that you got to keep in mind, a lot of dogs are going to gravitate back towards where they came from.
Right.
I mean, they don't always, because you hear about these stories where dogs just keep going. But I had a dog that used to get out of our yard occasionally as a kid, and there were literally times where he was gone for 2 or 3 days, and then 3 days later he'd be sitting on the front porch, and he would have just gone on an adventure. But he knew where he was going, and he knew how to get back, and he would. And so I think that they also, their nose is good. They tend to know where they're at and where they're going.
Right. There's quite a big fight amongst pit bull owners and non-pit bull owners. Can you set the record straight on the pit bull?
I mean, I think the breed legislation stuff is a little bit ridiculous. To me, it's profiling in the dog form, but it's, I think the reality is I see so many great pit bulls that are just sweet dogs.
Right.
I think there are some that aren't, but I think a lot of that is how they're raised, what they're being trained to do. And
so do you believe that all pit bulls have that snap mechanism in them, though, where they can just lose their freaking minds and attack people?
I wouldn't say all of them do, no. But I would argue that I'm more likely to get bit by a Chihuahua any day of the week.
That's what my argument that's always been,
than a pit bull.
Or a Cocker Spaniel.
And so there are other breeds that I've had a lot more dangerous encounters with that are not the breeds that people talk about.
We're lucky Chihuahuas are so small, because they're mean little buggers.
They can be.
They're just mean.
Well, the thing is that it's the pit bull so powerful.
Right. But there's a lot of powerful dogs, and it's just a matter of, and that's the other misconception there, is that I think you got to get to a point where you can't just trust, even the sweetest dog in the world
could bite your face off.
Could potentially bite your face if they wanted to. I mean, it's just a matter of how far they have to be pushed to do that.
Dr. John Faught is our guest, Firehouse Animal Health Center. They're at 3801 North Capitol Texas Highway. Their telephone number, 765-9009, and you can find them online as well and get all the information that you want. It's firehouseaustin.com. Correct? All right. Anything else you want to share with us? Anything new in the pet and animal world? We got a betta fish.
You did. Good for you. You didn't get 2 then, I guess, right? So
they don't like other fish.
Right. Y'all doing the mirror trick and like getting them all puff up?
No, tell me about this.
You didn't take a mirror up to them and they'll get all puffed up because they think it's another fish?
Oh, I got to do that.
Bettas can do something?
Yeah. They're pretty.
They are.
But you know what's funny about the fish is like they eat these little pebble things. It's not like the flaky fish. And you can put them in there, and if you're real quiet and you put your ear down, you can hear the fish chewing it. I'm serious. You can hear it going. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. That's entertainment in our house, Doc.
Yeah. Get a mirror tonight, and you'll have a new
I'm gonna put a mirror in front of it and see what it really noticeably will swell up.
Yeah, they'll their fins come out and
they're ready to fight.
They're ready to fight.
Wow. You know what I saw over the holiday break, and it reminded me that people used to talk about this in Austin a lot. Do you treat birds there, by the way?
We've seen a few birds, but I'm not much of a bird expert. We've got another vet that does that.
Okay, because there's flocks of wild parrots in Austin.
What? Parrots?
Parrots.
Yeah, I had heard something about that. Somebody was explaining that some of them got let out a while back, and now they live down on Town Lake or something like that.
I heard about them. They used to have sightings of them off of Guadalupe. My brother-in-law moved over off of Lamar, kind of very central Austin, and we were there for the break. I took a photo. There were probably 75 of them.
Well, I going,
yeah, parrots.
Really?
Bright yellow and green.
How did they get there?
There was some they got out somewhere, and then now there's like this little colony of them and I mean, people talk about seeing them on Town Lake sometimes.
Really, this is like
parrots.
like the alligators in Town Lake.
No, there are tons of parrots. I took a picture.
Really? Tons of parrots. I'm
not sure what
how have
type
I never
of parrot
heard
they
this
are.
before?
I'm not sure what type of bird. I don't think they're not like the parrot that sits on, and
goes,
like Polly want a cracker type stuff.
I but there's some
they're
kind
a colorful.
Jamie's full of
bird.
crap.
All right, here's some. I'm gonna have to zoom in for you, dog.
You can see if you can identify the bird.
What are those?
Yeah, you're not going to get me to identify it.
I know. It's
Picture quality's poor.
Yeah, there you go. That's why. Otherwise, you'd tell you right off.
Flocks of parrots
Flocks of parrots
in Austin, Texas.
I don't think they're parrots, dude.
Dude, they're parrots. We'll get a call.
They
Somebody
fly
knows
up from
what they-
Mexico or something?
I don't know, man. They were definitely parrots.
If you say so. If you say so. So I know you opened the new office in Kyle. How's that going?
It's going great.
Is it?
Yeah, we're just trying to get the word out down there that we're open, but it's going really well. We're seeing more and more people all the time.
Did you have a nice Christmas?
I did. It was quick.
It was.
We work a lot, so we don't take too much time off, but it was good.
Good to hear. And I always want to remind people to spay and neuter their pets. That's important.
And
Bob Barker. But the reason I bring that up is because in my neighborhood, there's a dog. I've lived in this neighborhood for 10 years, and there's a dog, and we've named her the mama dog because she's always pregnant, and she is a homeless dog, and I found her home the other day. Somebody has taken bowls and put 2 bowls out there for her in the woods, and they feed her and stuff, and she just roams around, and the poor dog gets knocked up every year. I just feel sorry for her. And we've tried to get close to her.
Yeah.
Treats. No, she won't get anywhere
Different
near.
daddies? Is each litter looking different?
I never see the pups. I just see the teats after she's had them. You know what I mean? I feel so bad for her. I just want to give her a home, but she's like, oh, I'm outside. I'm a loner. I'm a girl of the streets.
Well,
be trying to bring in Julia Roberts.
There may be some groups that would help you try to trap her and get her spayed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, potentially.
Would they, if they spayed her, would they just let her loose though? Because that's what she wants.
They
Give
probably
her a stern talking to about her behavior.
Probably try not to that, but
Try to preach the word to her.
Yeah.
To find her savior and the whole thing. Is there a group that would come out and maybe?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I'll make some calls to see if we can find somebody that could come help you do that.
That would be cool because she's kind of like, it's funny because she's kind of like Snuffleupagus. In that my daughter and I only see her, my wife never sees the mama dog. But I'd like to get her fixed at least.
Yeah.
And because she'll never live in a home.
Okay.
She'll run.
That's what Roxy was when we adopted her at Town Lake Animal Shelter. She was a mama dog.
She
on the
was.
streets, living on the streets, just whoring around.
Is there a pretty consistent spot where you see her all the time?
I know exactly where she lives.
Yeah.
And she's just in that area all the time. And like I said, we've tried to get to her, but she just is so skittish. And of course, I don't know the dog, so I don't know how she's going to react. And but I would like to get her some help. If you can put me in touch with the group, I'll kind of negotiate that. So, well, Doc, thanks for coming in. We always enjoy seeing you. I like seeing you when I don't have to write you a check.
Yep. I like seeing you better the other time.
I know you do. I know you do. Shiny's doing really good. That's a smart dog, man.
Great.
Thank you for helping us get over the hump with that dog because she almost got fired.
Yeah, a couple of times.
A couple times. Yeah, she almost got fired. So, but she's doing really, really good. She's a very social dog.
Yeah, she's a cool little dog.
She wants to be in charge of everybody, though. Thanks for coming in. Go see Dr. Faught for all of your animal health care needs. Firehouse Animal Health Center. Again, the number is 765-9009. For more information, go to firehouseaustin.com. Is it Firehouse and Kyle also?
It's firehousekyle.com. But yeah, it's the
same.
That's the website there. Their number is 410-0616.
So wouldn't that be great if you need a vet? You go and you're like, Dr. Faught, I feel like I know Dr. Faught. I've heard him on the JB and Sandy show. I know he's going to take good care of my dog.
And the Austin location is in Davenport Village.
There you go. Doc, thanks for coming in. Tell everyone out there we said hi. They listen? Are they listening at your office right now?
Hopefully they're working.
Oh, come on, man. Have a great day, man. We appreciate you coming in.